Hello dear students, this is me Bharti Kharat and today we are going to start with a very interesting new topic, that is topic number 3, circle. You are familiar with the concept regarding circle like center of the circle, radius, diameter, chord, interior and exterior circle. In today's session, we are going to study all the basic information related to the circle as well as all the theorems based on it so that it becomes easy for us to solve practice set 3.1. Okay, before that let us recall all the basic things related with the circle. Now children, first that we are going to see is the diameter of the circle. So what is the diameter of the circle? As you can see in this figure, that the diameter means the line joining the two ends of the circle and passing through the center. Okay, a line segment which passes through the center of the circle and whose both ends are or whose both the ends lie on the circle is called as the diameter of the circle. You can see C and D, these are the end of this line segment and they lie on the circle as well as it passes through the center. Okay, this line segment passes through the center of the circle. So children, I'll write it down over here. A line segment which passes through the center, which passes through the center of the circle and whose both ends lie on the circle. Okay children, now you can see A is the center of the circle, okay, and CD is the line segment which is passing through the center of the circle, and you can see this C and D, these end points, it lie on the circle. That is the diameter of the circle. Children, you also know that radius is half of the diameter. Now if you see AD is the radius of the circle, or if you consider CA or AC, it is the radius of the circle. AD, radius of the circle, CA is the radius of the circle. So what is the radius? Radius is half of the diameter. Okay, so it's very easy. You have also studied in your previous standard that what is the diameter, what is the radius. So just we are recalling it. So diameter is what? Diameter is a line segment which passes through the center of the circle and the two ends of the line segment they lie on the circle. Whereas radius is what? Radius is half of the diameter. Now this half of CD, that is AD, is the radius of the circle, or you can also call as half of CD, that is AC, is the radius of the circle. Okay. Now children, let us move on towards the next point, that is chord. Okay. Now what is chord of the circle? Now a line segment, as you saw the line segment, it is passing through the circle. Here in case of diameter it is passing through the center of the circle, but here in case of chord, as well you can see in the figure 2 that EF is the chord of the circle. You can see the end points, that is E and F, it lie on the circle. Children, for your extra information I may tell you that this CD is also a chord of the circle. It is called as the longest chord of the circle. Okay. Now a line segment whose both the ends lie on the circle is called as the chord of the circle. Okay, the line segment whose both the ends, as you can see here, E and F are the ends of the line segment, they lie on the circle. Therefore it is called as the chord of the circle. You can also call the diameter as the longest chord of the circle. Okay, so I'll write down here a line segment whose both the end points lie on the circle is called a chord. It is called as a chord. And you can say that diameter is the biggest, you can call as biggest chord of the circle. Okay children, now we are going to study what are concentric circle. Now as you can see in the diagram over here, here are two circles, but you can see their center is the common. Okay, their center is the common. So you can define it as, if two circles have a common center, they are called as concentric circles. Okay, if two circles have a common center, then they are called as concentric circles. They are called as concentric circles. Okay, I hope so it is clear till here what is a diameter, chord and concentric circle. Diameter is what? Diameter is a line segment which passes through the center of the circle and the end points of this line segment lie on the circle. Secondly, you have also studied what is the radius. Radius is half of diameter. That means if CD is the diameter, then AD is the radius, or AC is the radius. Okay, we have also studied what is chord. Chord is a line segment whose both the ends lie on the circle. Okay, is a line segment whose both the ends lie on the circle. I have also told you that diameter is the biggest chord of the circle. Okay, concentric circles are what? Two circles having a common center are called as concentric circle. Now children, let us move on towards the next, that is intersecting circle. Now what are intersecting circles? Now you can see here two circle with center A and center B. They are intersecting each other at two distinct points. You can see at two distinct points. Circle intersect each other at 2 points, that is P and Q. So always remember that two circles intersect each other at two distinct points. Okay. Two circles intersect each other at two distinct points. At two distinct points. As you can see in the figure over here, circle with center A and circle with center B are intersecting each other at point P and Q. Now touching circles. Now two circles, they will touch each other at one point. Okay, touching circles. Two circles will touch each other at you can see at one point, that is L. I have named it as L. So I'll write down here two circles touch each other at a single point. At a single point, you can see circle with center A and circle with center B touch each other at point L. Okay. Now congruent circles. Now children, I'll give you a very nice example. You have seen bangles. Okay, bangles, they are congruent circles. They are of same size. Okay, their radius is same, their diameter is same. Therefore, you can say that they are congruent circles. Okay, circles having same diameter and radius are called as congruent circles. Okay. Now children, let us move on. Let us move on towards the, before that I'll write down here congruent circles. Congruent circles have same diameter and radius. Same diameter and radius. Okay. Now let us move on towards the activity which is given in your textbook. Now children, in the activity they have given, in activity 1, in the adjoining figure, D is the chord of the circle. You can see this DE. D is the chord of the circle with center C. Okay. Sec CF is perpendicular, or you can say sec CF is perpendicular to DE if diameter of the circle is 20 centimeters. Now if you see, the diameter of the circle is 20 centimeters and this DE, okay, this DE is 16 centimeters. You have to find CF. What they have given? They have given that diameter is 20 centimeters. Again, they have given the length of the chord, that is 16 centimeter, and you have to find the length, that is CE. Okay. Now children, first of all, let us write down what is given. So what is given to us, that is seg CF is perpendicular to DE. Okay. Then they have given that diameter of the circle is, okay, diameter of circle is 20 centimeters. Okay, and they have also given DE is equal to 16 centimeters. Okay children, what we have to find? We have to find, that is CF. We have to find CF. Now in the solution we'll write down, it is given that diameter is equal to 20 centimeters. Okay, therefore how much is the radius? Therefore radius is equal to half of diameter, means that is D upon 2, that means 20 upon 2, that is 10. Okay, radius is 10 centimeter. Now children, you can see this CD in this red dots. Okay, this I have constructed. It is a part of construction. You can write down here construction and write in that join C and D. Okay children, now it is said that the perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisects the chord in two equal points. Okay, you very well know that whenever you draw a perpendicular on a line segment, okay, whenever you draw a perpendicular bisector on a line segment, what you get? That line segment or that perpendicular bisector divides the line segment in two equal parts. In the same way, the perpendicular drawn from the center of the circle to the chord, what it will do? It will divide the chord into two equal parts. No? So in the same way, I will write down here the perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord, from the center to the chord D, you can see here, bisects the chord. Okay, the perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord will bisect the chord in equal parts. That means this DF is equal to FE. Okay, I'll write down here. DF is equal to EF, or FE is equal to half of the chord D. Got it everyone? That means you can write down here DF is equal to EF is equal to half of D. So how much is D? See here, they have given D is 16. Therefore 2 ones are 2, 8 are, that is equal to 8 centimeters. Okay, that means DE or DF is equal to EF is equal to 8 centimeters. Is it clear to all? Now children, you also know that, or it is also given that, that CF is perpendicular to DE. Okay, CF is perpendicular to DE. Now what we have done, we have joined this C and D. So we have got a right angle triangle. Okay, as the perpendicular bisector, it makes an angle of 90 degree with the line segment. Therefore, this becomes a right angle triangle. Now let us consider in right triangle. Now which triangle we are going to consider? That is triangle CDF. CDF. Now we are going to apply the Pythagoras theorem over here. By Pythagoras theorem. Now CD is the hypotenuse, therefore CD square is equal to DF square plus CF square, or CF square plus DF square. Okay, therefore CD is given to us. CD is how much? This CD, we have got it as radius. So CD is the radius. Now therefore it is given that 10 centimeters. Therefore 10 square is equal to CF we are going to find out. Okay, CF square plus DF we have got just now. DF is 8 centimeters. That is 8 square. So 100 is equal to CF square plus 64. So I'll write it down here. I don't have place. So now children, this 100 minus 64 is equal to CF square. Therefore you can write down here CF square is equal to 36. Therefore you can say that CF is equal to 6. So in this way we have found out the value of CF, that is 6. Okay, now let us move on towards the activity 2. Now children, in the activity 2, in the adjoining figure, QR is the chord of the circle with center O. You can see this QR is the chord of the circle whose center is O. P is the midpoint of the chord QR. That means QP is equal to QR is equal to half of QR. You can see this QP is equal to this PR is equal to half of QR. Okay, if they have given the distance QR, the length of the chord is 24, this OP is 10, then we have to find the radius of the circle. Now what I have done here, this red part, this red dots show you that it is a part of construction. You may also write down that join point Q and O in the part of construction. Now we'll move on towards the solution. Okay children, now it is given that P is the midpoint of QR. Okay, so I'll write down here P is the midpoint. P is the midpoint of QR. Okay, as it is the midpoint, therefore this QP is equal to this PR is equal to half of QR. It is equal to half of QR. Now you also know that QP is equal to PR is equal to half of QR. Value of QR is already given to us, that is 24. That is how much? That is 24. Now 2 ones are 2, 12s are. That means 12 centimeters. Therefore you can write down here QP is equal to PR is equal to 12 centimeters. Okay. Now children, a line drawn from the center of the chord is perpendicular to the, or you can say it is a perpendicular bisector of that chord. Now you can see this QP is a line drawn from the center of the circle. That means this OP is perpendicular to QR. Okay, I'll write down here a line drawn from the center of the circle is perpendicular bisector of that chord. Okay, Now when we join this, what we'll get? We'll get a right angle triangle. Now in this right angle triangle, once again we'll apply the Pythagoras theorem and we are going to find the value that is OQ. Okay, that is the radius of the circle. Now let us go in the right angle triangle. In right triangle, that is OPQ. In that angle, OPQ is equal to 90 degrees. Therefore, by Pythagoras theorem, you can say that this hypotenuse, that is OQ square, is equal to OP square plus PQ square. Okay. Now you very well know OP. OP is 10 centimeters, therefore 10 square, and this PQ. Now how much is QP or PQ? That is 12 centimeters, therefore 12 square, therefore 100 plus 144, that is 244. Therefore your OQ square or QO square is 244. I'll write it in a proper form as they have asked, that is OQ. Okay, OQ is equal to under root of 244. You can also write it in this way, no? 4 into 61, that is 244. Okay, therefore we'll take this 4 out, that will become 2 under root 61. Therefore your OQ is 2 under root 61. So this was your activity 2. Now let us move on towards the activity 3. Now children, in this activity 3, in the adjoining figure, you can see this M. M is the center of the circle. Okay. AB is the diameter as it is passing from the center, and both the ends of this line segment, they lie on the circle. AB is the diameter of the circle. Seg MS, you can see the seg MS is perpendicular to chord AD. Okay. Similarly, seg MT is perpendicular to chord AC. Okay. Then they have also given that angle DAB is congruent to angle CAB. We have to prove that chord AD is congruent to chord AC. Okay, chord AD and chord AC are congruent. So first of all, we'll write down the given thing. M is the center of the circle. Is the center of the circle. Okay. After that, they have given AB is the diameter. Okay. Then they have given that MS is perpendicular to AD. MS is perpendicular to AD and MT is perpendicular to AC. Okay. They have also given that angle DAB is congruent to angle CAB. What do you have to prove? You have to prove that chord AD is congruent to chord AC. Okay, chord AD is congruent to chord AC. Now children, here you can see there are two triangles. Okay, that is triangle ASM and triangle ATM. Okay, let us consider this both triangle. In triangle ASM and triangle ATM. Okay, you can see that angle AMS, okay, and angle AMT, they both are congruent as they are 90 degrees. Okay, as they are 90 degrees. I'll write down here. See, this is perpendicular on this and this is perpendicular on this. Therefore, you can write down here, therefore, angle MSA is congruent to angle MTA. What they are? Both 90 degrees. Both are of 90 degrees. You can also see that angle A or angle SAM is congruent to angle TAM. Angle SAM is congruent to angle TAM. Why they are congruent? As you can see that DAM is congruent to CAB. Sorry, DAB is congruent to CAB. It is already given to us. I'll write down here. It is given that angle DAB is congruent to angle CAB. Okay, therefore you can say that this SAM is congruent to TAM. Okay, now you can see here AM is the common in them. AM, seg AM is congruent to seg AM. Therefore, I'll write down here seg AM is congruent to seg AM. It is common side. Okay, therefore, by AAS test, AAS test, you can say that triangle ASM is congruent to triangle ATM. Okay, it is congruent to triangle ATM. Now, as these two triangles are congruent, therefore this MS is congruent to MT. Therefore, MS is also congruent to MT by CSCT. Now, what is CSCT? Congruent sides of congruent triangles. Okay, therefore, you can write down here chords which are equidistant from the center. Chords which are equidistant from the center are equal in length. Are equal in length. Therefore, you can write down here AD is also equal to AC, or you can write down here chord AD is congruent to chord AC. Okay, now children, in all these three activities, they have asked you all to write whatever the statements have written. They have asked in the form of fill in the blanks. So you have to fill it in the blank wherever it is given to you all. Okay, so in this way we have completed activity 3. Now children, on page number 48, they have given one more new point to you all, that is circles passing through 1 point, 2 and 3 points. Means they are asking you that how many circles pass through 1 point, how many circles pass through 2 points, and how many circles can pass through 3 points. Okay, so let us move on towards it. Now children, you can see here the next point is circles passing through 1, 2 and 3 points. Now in this adjoining figure, point A you can see here. Point A lies in the plane. Okay, it lies in the plane and all the 3 circles are passing through point A. You can see point P is passing through A, circle with center P is passing through point A, circle with center R is passing through point A, as well as circle with center Q is also passing through point A. Means all these 3 circles, they meet at point A. Okay children, now you have also studied last year, that is in standard 9, that from you have also studied that from a single point or from or you can also say from a point you can draw infinite lines. From one point you can draw infinite lines passing through it. In the same way, okay children, in the same way, innumerable or infinite circles can be drawn passing through a single point. Here they have given only 3 circles. Okay children, they have given only 3 circles, but you can draw infinite circles passing through a single point. As you can see here, diagram over here, this circle, it is also passing through this point. Suppose we'll name it as C. Okay, we can see this circle, they are also passing through this point. Means see, if a circle is in this way, so you can draw innumerable circles passing through the single point. So you can see how many circles are passing through one point. Okay, now children, let us move on towards the next point. Have you understood this? That as from one point you can draw many lines. Suppose this is a point, you can draw many lines, passing through this. Infinite lines you can draw passing through this point. In the same way, they have only given 3 circles over here passing through point A, but you can draw infinite circles passing through point A. But remember that these points, you can see these points, they are not collinear. These points are not collinear points, they are non-collinear points. Okay, you will understand this better from the next activity. Okay, now in the next activity they have asked you that in the adjoining figure. Now children, what figure they have given? Don't consider this, consider with this red pen. They have given you that point A, point B and point C are given to you all. And they have asked you that how many circles can pass through A and B. So how many circles you can draw passing through A and B? Both the points should come in that circle. So how many circles you can draw? Only one circle you can draw passing through this 2 points. Okay, I'll show you. All the 3 points cannot come in that. Only 2. Suppose I'll see here. I'll show you. See. What we have done here, first I took point A, point B, same diagram I have taken over here, and see, only one circle can be drawn passing through 2 points. Okay, so your first answer you have got over here, how many circles can pass through A and B. So you can write down here, only one circle can pass through A and B. Is it clear to you all? Only one circle can pass through A and B. Okay children, now okay, now the second question is how many circles contain all the 3 points. Okay, how many circles contain all the 3 points? So there will be only one circle. Now suppose I'll take here point A, point C, point B. Okay children, now you have to draw how many circles can pass in such a way that all the 3 points will come on that circle. So only one circle will be in such a way. Now if you see, you can see here only one circle can be drawn. Okay, only one circle passes through all the 3 non-collinear points. Only one circle, I'll write down here, only one circle passes through three non-collinear points. Okay. Okay children, so only one circle can pass through 3 non-collinear points. You have understood here. But once again we'll move on towards question number 1 in this activity, that how many circles can pass through A and B. Okay children, now this question number 1, okay, what they have asked, only from A and B, only through these 2 points, so only one circle we can draw from here. But if we draw this or as a diameter of the circle, okay, and after drawing the diameter of the circle, or if we consider this AB as a line segment, and if we draw a perpendicular line bisector, if you draw a perpendicular bisector to AB and take any point on that line, so innumerable circles can be drawn through this A and B. Okay, so remember children, for this question, as only they have given these 3 points, we can draw only one circle. But in detail, okay, in detail we are going to see in the next activity, in our next session, that we can draw innumerable circles passing through A and B. Okay children, now suppose I'll explain in short to you over here. Suppose this is A and this is B. Okay children, this is point B. Now we'll draw a line passing through this. Okay, now as we draw a line passing through this, what we are going to do, you have studied how to draw a perpendicular bisector to a line segment. So what we are going to do is, we are going to take more than half distance, we are going to mark it over here. Okay children, again we'll mark it over here and we'll draw a perpendicular bisector. Okay, perpendicular bisector. Now on this perpendicular bisector, if you take any point here, suppose I take point P. Okay, I'll take point P and I'll draw a circle. I can draw a circle passing through this, no? You can see here. So this is my first circle. Okay, now if I take point Q over here, Q, I can draw the next circle passing through it. See, I can draw one more circle passing through A and B. Okay, suppose I take a point C over here. Okay, I take a point C over here and C here. I can draw again one more circle passing through A and B. Okay, one more circle passing through A and B. So here, as they have given this only these 3 points, I can draw only one. But if I draw a perpendicular bisector and take many points on it, so you can also write down here innumerable circles. Okay, so it's better that you just write down the answer of question number 2 over here, and this question number 1 we'll see in activity. We shall solve it in activity. Okay, so have you understood here? From 3 non-collinear points, only one circle can pass. Okay, first question, that how many circles can pass through AB? When they have given only these 2 points, what you can say, that you can draw innumerable circle. Okay, I'll write down here innumerable. You can draw innumerable circles passing through A and B. Okay, now in the same way, if the points are given as collinear, okay, if points are collinear, that means they are on a same line, suppose 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so any circle cannot be drawn in such a that all the 3 points will come on the circle. Okay, therefore you can write down that no circle can be drawn through the points which are collinear. Okay, or you can also write in this way, that if they have given collinear points, then no circle passes through the collinear points. So what is going to happen in collinear points? Only 2 points will come on the circle. Okay, suppose 1, 2 and 3. or suppose they have given 3 non-collinear points 1, 2 and 3. So what is going to happen? Only 2 points will come in the circle, the other one will be, or the third one will be left. Okay, or suppose 1, 2, 3 they have given, only one circle will be drawn, the other point will be left as it is. Or you can also draw in this way, 1, 2 and 3 collinear points they have given, you can also draw a circle here, one point will be as it is. Okay children, so here we have solved question number 2. In extra information I have given you that if the points are collinear, no circle passes through this collinear points. Okay, and the first one I have solved it over here, but we are going to study it in detail in the next session. Okay, in the next session they have given an activity based on this, so we will study it in detail. I have explained it over here. By mistake I have written here only one. I was supposed to write it over here, but I wrote it over here only one. Okay, so children, here as they have given these points in this way, they have given A, C and B. So I have drawn here one circle, but in that activity in detail they are going to tell you that after drawing a perpendicular bisector, that time you can draw innumerable circles passing through A and B. Okay, so for the timing you may write down there innumerable circle pass through A and B. Okay, you may write the second one answer. For the first one you write innumerable circle, and this third point you may note down in your notebook that if the points are collinear, then no circle passes through the collinear point. In the next session we are going to study, that is they have given 3 activities. Okay, they have given to you all 3 activities. The first activity will be based on the first question given in here, that is how many circles can pass through 2 points. Okay, on that activity we are going to solve. The next one, that is also based on a triangle. Okay, or on the angle bisector, how you can draw a circle passing through the 3 non-collinear points. After that, the same activity they have given in detail if the points are collinear. Okay, the same point we are also going to study in detail in the form of activity. Okay, so don't create any confusion. If they see how many circles can pass through A and B, so you may write down there innumerable circles pass through A and B, as I have explained you it over here. Okay, in the same way we are going to solve it in the activity also, so your confusion will get cleared for the first question. For the question number 2, what we have done, we have drawn one circle passing through this non-collinear points. If the points are non-collinear, only one circle can pass through this non-collinear points. When the circles or you can say when the points are collinear, they lie on the same line, then only, not only, but any circle cannot pass through this collinear points. Okay, I hope so it is clear till here that when the points are non-collinear, that time you can draw one circle passing through it, only one circle passing through that non-collinear points. Whereas if the points are collinear, no circle passes through the collinear points. I'll write down here, no circle passes through collinear points. Okay, in the next session we shall see the 3 activities. Along with that we are going to study the what is tangent, what is secant, as well as we are also going to study the theorems based on it. Okay, so let us meet in the next session.